Hello and welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 70, and in this episode, I want to break down a very practical philosophy around how to get more clients as a wellness expert. We're going to talk about what this practice is, why it's important, why you're probably not doing it in your business, the mindset shifts that need to take place in order for you to completely embody this new practice in your business. And then again, some practical insights into how to start integrating and implementing this practice into your business today. So the practice or philosophy that we're talking about today is making daily offers. And this is something that, I have learned about, been taught about before, and have had my own resistance around implementing in my business, and have more recently been reminded of the importance of it by my own business mentor. And I wanted to bring this topic to the podcast so that you can benefit from a deeper understanding of what it means, why it's important, and how practically to implement it so that you can reap the benefits of it as well. So I talk on this podcast a lot about different sales strategies, different marketing strategies, and fundamentally what underpins all of your client acquisition, i.e. attracting new paying clients, is your willingness to make frequent offers to your audience, explaining to them how they can take the next steps to work with you. That is in practice what marketing and selling is all about. Explaining to your audience who are in your world because they have the problem that you can solve, exactly what to do to take the next steps to either build a relationship of trust with you or to take the next steps to buy from you. So what do I mean by making daily offers? In principle, it is about every single day finding a way in which to communicate some simple next steps that your audience members, your leads or prospects can take to more proactively come into your world, whether via, the purchase of your service or simply being more proactively involved in your community. So let's break this down into two distinct types of daily offers. The first is free offers. So this means regularly, if not daily, speaking to the ways in which your audience can opt into or utilize free resources that you have available in your business. So we call them opt-ins or lead magnets because typically you are providing something free or valuable to your audience in exchange for their name and their email address. And in doing so, you are starting to build a list or a community of leads and prospects that you can continue to nurture and build a relationship with. So that would be making a daily free offer. This might be in the form of a free training. That's what we teach our clients inside Consistent Clients, to create a free training where you explain the details of your signature methodology and your process for getting clients to their desired outcome. It might be a free guide. It might be a quiz. There are lots of ways in which you can encourage people to opt into your world, but typically it will be a very simple, a low hassle, but high value free resource. And we'll get on in a moment to why you're not making daily offers. But when it comes to free resources, what I often see is that if you have a free resource, which some of you will have right now, that you create it, that you promote it once, and then the assumption is that your audience, when they want it, will find it for themselves. So we're going to shift that thinking. I'm going to talk about why it's important to shift that thinking so that you are regularly, if not daily, making those free offers for your audience to get the free things that you have created. The second type of offer that you can make is, of course, a paid offer. Now, this is where we start thinking about your programs, your offers. What I would encourage a new wellness expert or an expert who's not yet making consistent 5 to 8K months is to have one singular offer, and that would be a signature one-to-one program. It's your highest priced offering, and to be focusing on selling that as a singular program or way of working with you means that you can be more focused on communicating the values and benefits of it and make that the thing that you offer to your audience on a regular, if not daily basis. We're going to talk about how you can interchange when making daily offers between those free offers and paid offers, so that there is a creative kind of diversity in the communication and things that you're, instructing or encouraging your audience to do, but that every day there is a next step that your audience, your leads, your prospects can take to continue to immerse themselves into your world. So it can be free offers, it can be paid offers. The most important part of this practice is that you make an offer every day. Now, why don't we make frequent offers? There's a couple of reasons, and one or more of these might resonate with you more than the others. The first is typically just a lack of creative language or ways in which you can communicate the offers that you have available. So all of you should have a way of working with clients. Most of you will have a free resource, and if you don't, then that's probably the next thing that you need to work on so that you have something free to talk about in terms of next steps. Most of you have those things. So why aren't you talking about them more often? Is it because you feel like you have run out of ways to talk about that next step, that you feel the only way to talk about working with you is to offer a discovery call? And if you were to talk about that every single day, you'd get bored, your audience would get bored, and ultimately there's an inability to be consistent with that messaging purely because you only have one way of talking about it. So part of the key to making daily offers is finding a range of creative ways in which to communicate what those next steps can look like. So if you have a free quiz or a free training and you have one signature one-to-one program, you need to find multiple ways in which you can talk about or motivate your audience to take those next steps so that there's a simple avenue for you to be consistent with that messaging. Now, the second reason that you're probably not making daily offers is more of a mindset shift, and it is a very normal belief, and that is that people get bored or frustrated or annoyed by people online who make daily offers. Okay, so let's break this down. There's a belief in your mind that is telling you that if you are talking every day about your program or your free thing, that your audience are going to get frustrated with you, annoyed by you, or maybe even repelled from you because of that. And this is the most important mindset shift of all, because when you are stuck in that belief, your main consciousness or awareness is focused on those people who don't want to take the next steps with you. And they probably are the people who are going to feel like it's too much or too often, or you're talking about it too frequently. And yet those are also the people who are not going to buy from you. The people who are ready to buy from you or to take the next steps to learn more about what you do are the ones who are waiting in the wings for you to tell them what to do next. And instead, your focus and attention is on the people who are not going to become paying clients. You're worried about how those who aren't going to take the next step with you are feeling, thinking, criticizing you in their own mind, judging you. It's probably an illusion anyway, because if somebody really does feel like that, the likelihood is that they're probably going to unfollow you or unsubscribe from your world anyway. And by the way, that's okay. That's very normal. We really only want to be thinking about and consciously engaging with the people in your world who want your help. Now, when somebody follows me on Instagram or subscribes to my email list or opts into my free training, the way I view that person is as if they have walked into my shop front, they're taking a look around, and they've said to me, I'm interested in what you do. Can you tell me a little bit more about what's happening here? They have made an inquiry. It's a digital inquiry, and sometimes it feels indirect because, someone may have just entered their name and email address. So it might not feel quite like it would if you were a shop owner and someone walked into your shop and started a conversation with you or asked a question, but that's effectively what is happening. This individual has expressed an interest in finding out more about your work. And the likelihood is that the reason or the motivation for them is that they have a problem or a set of symptoms that you have the skills and expertise to solve. And when you think about it like this, suddenly your mindset shifts to, okay, I have someone here who wants to know more, who is ready to receive, who is excited to find out more about what I do. And from that perspective or through that lens, it's important that you tell them. You wouldn't ignore someone who was asking you a question. You wouldn't ghost them. You wouldn't disappear out the back of the shop. And yet in a digital world, so often that's what we do. We stop talking about those next steps. The other important thing to remember is that in the world of digital marketing and fast-moving content, the reality is that even if you have an existing audience, between 2 and 5% of those audience members will see your offers that you make. So coming back to that example that I gave where, you create your free resource, your free training, and you share it once on your Instagram account and you send it out once on your email list, and then that's it, you never mention it again. If we were to bear in mind that only 2 to 5% of people will see that, there is a huge portion of your existing audience, not to mention any future people who come into your world, who never got that offer, who were never told about the free training or free resource that you created and spent hours producing, who were never told about what the next steps are if they want to work with you or to have a discovery call with you. So in that vein, it's so important to remember to frequently talk about what those next steps are, to frequently make that invitation, to frequently make offers. If not frequently, ultimately your goal would be daily. So daily offers to download this free thing, get access to this free thing, or to take the next steps to find out or to book a call to talk to me about how we can work together. So we've talked about the 2 different types of offers. We've talked about free offers and paid offers. We've talked about why you might not be making daily offers because of that fear of maybe criticism or that it might repel people, and why the reality is that most people aren't actually seeing the offers that you're making, and that's the very reason that we need to make them frequently. But the simplest way to think about this is that the more offers you make, the more opportunity there is to make sales. So more offers, more sales, more offers, more clients, more frequency of offers, more frequency of attracting clients. The more you talk about how to work with you, the more you talk about the next steps that your audience can take, the more people will see that message and the more likely they are to take those next steps. Another important thing is that we talked about 2 to 5% of people seeing your offers. The other thing to remember as far as digital marketing and how it works is that often as a consumer, we need to see an invitation or we need to see the features or benefits of something that we are interested in multiple times. And the statistic changes constantly. It used to be 3 touch points. Now in a digital age of overload of information, it's more like 30 to 50 times people need to be seeing and being reminded of the thing that they're interested in, because we're so distracted. We see something and we think, oh, that looks cool. And then something else pops up, or, your kid screams, or, suddenly you realize that you're hungry or something else and you're distracted from what you were looking at. And it's not that you didn't want that thing, it's that you were distracted. So another reason that frequency is so important, but ultimately frequency of offers equates to and correlates very closely with frequency of sales and conversions, attracting more clients. So every day when you come to showing up in your business, when you come to that question of what should I do today that's going to help drive my business forward, it is very easy to busy yourself in the admin and the planning and the strategizing and the big picture thinking and the what am I missing and the self-critique of, I'm not good enough, or self-doubt, and busying your mind in really what becomes a form of procrastination from client acquisition, getting new clients. And so coming back to this principle of making daily offers is the simplest and most powerful way to be reminded of what really matters in your business to drive growth. And I would encourage you, after listening to this podcast, to even create a little post-it note for yourself, or, if you wanted to, have it on your wallpaper, on your phone, a reminder daily. Find a way to remind yourself daily to make a daily offer. And how do we find that creativity? Well, I would encourage you to think about and make a list of all of the features and benefits of both your free and your paid offers. So create a list of 10, 15 reasons why your free resource is so useful and helpful. Create a list of 10, 15 reasons why working with you is going to be transformational and life-changing. And features are things like, getting access to you, having accountability from you, being supported by you to take action, helping you to, stay focused and achieve momentum with your health goals. Those are the sorts of features that I'm talking about. Benefits would be the transformation, so the outcome of waking up and looking in the mirror and loving what you see, being able to achieve a weight loss goal that you've been thinking about or trying to achieve on your own for years, being able to resolve a symptom of pain or discomfort that you've been experiencing for a long time. Those are the sort of features of the work that you do with clients. And having that list in front of you of features and benefits will enable you to creatively come to your content creation with different ways to talk about those offers. So one day you might talk about just the benefit of accountability. And then the call to action is, if you want this type of accountability, then here are the next steps that you can take to work with me. Another day, it might be, here's one benefit of the free training that I've designed that you can access now via the link in my bio or, by clicking on the link in my stories. Here's one benefit that you will get from watching this 15-minute training. And it might be one thing that your audience might learn. So there will be 15 to 20, maybe even more of these features and benefits for each of your offers, paid or free. And when you have that list, you can come to this practice of making daily offers. You can pick out one of those features or benefits that you've unpacked and broken down into, the most specific detail. And it means that you've got something different or a different angle to talk about that offer to your audience today. It'll be different to the way that you talked about it yesterday. And tomorrow there'll be another way that you can speak about it as well. Your job is to move past the fear of oversharing about the services that you provide, because that fear, that apprehension or that nervousness is what's stopping you from making offers. That fear of maybe judgment or feeling of, repelling people, and instead focus on who needs your help and the fact that today might be the day that they are looking to find out how they can work with you or to take steps forward into your world. So ask yourself, what is the daily offer that I'm going to make today? I hope that this episode has been useful. This principle can change the trajectory of your business. It can change the way you think about doing business and ultimately brings your focus back to the number one thing that you need in your business, and that is consistent clients. As always, I love hearing from you. Come and find me on Instagram, connect with me, send me a DM. If you love the podcast, I'd love to hear from you. I'd also love if you take time to rate and review it, as always. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Take care.